Leveling gets expensive. That's why today we're going over the best 8 characters for you to invest in levels 70 to 80 maximum. These will be the first characters you should be taking up and maximizing, as not only are these characters going to be individually strong, but they're going to be worth the time investment on your account. You're going to be using them absolutely everywhere. What's going on, guys? It's Josh. We're going to be categorizing them as main DPS, sub DPS, and full support characters. Do you need that precious amulet or extra resources to pull right now? Well, we've got the power up you need. Head to U7 Buy, your ultimate gaming hub for safe, fast, and cheap in-game top-ups as well as recharges. From Neverness to Everness to all your favorite titles, we've got you covered. Check the reviews for U7 Buy on Trustpilot. They have an enormously high rank. U7 Buy's Neverness to Everness direct top-up page lets you recharge instantly at a fraction of the cost elsewhere. If you take a look at the official in-store prices and compare them to what you can find on U7 Buy, you can find things at a much cheaper value, going from so expensive to way cheap all at the same time. Plus, with U7 Buy, not only are you going to get these discount, but they'll also deliver it in seconds. And while you're over there, make sure you use my code Josh at checkout for an extra discount off of everything else. This is going to be perfect for last minute pulls, monthly passes, or even surprising a fellow friend. 100% secure payments, instant delivery, and thousands of happy players. Bring the power of purchasing back to you. Click the link in the description and visit U7 Buy, recharge fast, save more, and keep exploring the ever-changing city of Neverness to Everness. Lacrimosa, if you have her on your account, you've already figured out the power of her. She is incredibly powerful as a chaos character and is one of the best characters currently in Neverness to Everness. Using her Moaning Tomato and Devilish Gift skills, she can do insane single target as well as AoE damage with the right monster moves, notably either the Black Tome or the Tomato monster itself. Her basic attack able to do large amount of upfront and damage over time with the Nightmare effect that it does apply as well, and some decent ultimate damage from Working Day Judgment as well. Solidly cements Lacrimosa as one of the premier Chaos DPS characters you should be leveling on your account. She's one of the most flexible Chaos characters that we currently have access to. You don't have to utilize her strictly in a Discord team. You can play her in Mono Burn. You can play her in Discord with multiple different Psyche as well as incantation characters. It is almost impossible to use Lacrimosa in a team based on the Chaos element and have it be a bad team. Pretty much any of the characters in the supporting cast that is the incantation or Psyche element will be fantastic in a Lacrimosa based squadron. So we are definitely going to recommend that you maximize and put all of your love and effort into her basic, into her skill, into her ultimate, as well as her support skill, last but not least as well. She's a fantastic character and is definitely taking, well, one of the #1 spots for DPS characters to level currently in Neverness to Everness. Nanali is the first limited character that we had in Neverness to Everness, and she is still standing strong with the test of time. She is a main DPS of the Anima element, focusing on the base attack skills as well as the ultimate. She has a lot of very powerful and some of them even free to play accessible characters of the Cosmos element, forming a very strong main DPS inside of these Bloom teams, because not only is her own personal damage via her basic attack skills and ultimate combination absolutely insane, but she also does buff up the damage that the Vita pistols will do from the Blossom reaction, increasing your team's overall DPS in these Blossom teams as well. And on top of that, these Blossom focused teams, well, they don't traditionally really have another character currently that wants to be on field doing damage as much as Nanali does. So she is 1000% one of the greatest main DPSs that you can level up and use in these top Blossom focused reaction teams. When you're looking to maximize which of her SB abilities first, I would recommend going for the basic attack and the ultimate and then leveling up the skill a little bit afterwards. Don't forget your support skill as well, but basic, ultimate, skill, and then support skill for Nanali will do you wonders there. Speaking of Blossom focused reaction teams, as we move into support DPSs, Hattori is the queen support sub DPS, sometimes maybe even feeling like a main damage dealer extraordinaire. Hattori, with her ability to coppice skills on your team with a present replay and then replay them back when she uses her ultimate World Tide, is a incredible component and a key player in these Blossom focused reaction teams, which not only does a substantial amount of damage in single target or even AoE situations if you're using it with crowd control, so you can group everything up right before you pop the ultimate, it's also going to replay all of those very important skills that a lot of the time are also going to be spawning blossoms for you, giving you even more blossom uptime. And her first ability allows those blossoms to do damage even while your time stopped using her ultimate ability. She's a pretty straightforward character to learn how to play once you fully understand her record and replay mechanic of her skill and ultimate combination. And as long as Blossom is going to be a solid strategy in Neverness to Everness, you will 1000% want a Hattori leveled up on your account if you have access to her. Speaking of Blossom, we can't talk much about Blossom without talking about Zhu Yuan. Now, Zhu Yuan is going to be one of the other key characters, key players in a Blossom focused team. And a lot of this comes around a combination of a few things. Now, Seize the Moment is going to be one of the first passive talents you can unlock, which increases the limits of the additional Vita buds that you can spawn up to 6, and it spawns an additional one every time you do the Blossom reaction. This increases the overall DPS that you get from Blossom in your team by a ton, and you can also further increase the benefits you're gaining from spawning these extra blossoms with other characters like we talked about previously, such as Nanali. But she is more than just Seize the Moment. Her skill does have a grouping effect on it. It nicely pulls enemies together, allowing you to rain a lot of AoE damage onto those enemies with your other characters, or even with her own ultimate, Final Reckoning, which allows you to detonate the lethal packed rose damage that the skill itself is going to put on them for you. She is a fantastic sub TPS in these Blossom teams, does not need a lot of uptime on the field, plays her role very efficiently, and doesn't demand a lot of, well, plain skill power. Hit the skill, hit the ultimate, you're good to go. You've learned how to play the character. Now, when it comes to leveling up which skills first, focusing on the ultimate, focusing on the skill, and then, you know, you can get some basic attack points and support skill points in there afterwards, but really it's the ultimate and the skill you should be really focusing in on this character first. Someone I'm glad that has actually made this video is going to be Fadia. Now, Fadia has been brought up from the depths to nearly tier 0.5, tier 0, in my opinion, since the advent and release of Lacrimosa. But if you have Lacrimosa on your account and you're using that character, Fadia is an absolute monster of a machine for you to have access to. A lot of it comes behind a couple of things. One of the main ones here is going to be Furnace of Guilt, her first support skill, which has the Nova enhancement ability on it, which allows allies to drain max HP off the target when Nova ends, doing damage based off of Fadia's own maximum health. The other big thing that Fadia does do for these teams is actually part of her passive basic attack, which is All Eyes on Me, which allows her to redirect a portion of the damage her teammates take back to herself. This helps you get a large amount of EHP bonus and survivability increases to your team when Fadia is around, which can help you on some of these higher difficulty encounters. It's not the main reason why she's here though. What she does allow you to do is drain that HP, do big damage off of Nova enhancement. Her playstyle fits very well with Lacrimosa, and then you can also get in with your skill as well as your ultimate. The skill here does inflict destructive experience on the enemy with the highest max HP, meaning that this does work very well into some single target scenarios as well. And any of the damage that Fadia takes is also going to be shared with the enemy that has destructive experience on them. So not only can you redirect some of that damage from your teammates to her, you can also redirect some of that damage that she takes to the enemy, on top of also just doing big damage based off of her max health with Nova enhancement. You have a nice character that works well, finally, with someone in the way of Lacrimosa teams, as those teams aren't basically based around a super quick swap playstyle, which Fadia doesn't have a lot of fun times with. And don't forget her ultimate, which is Agony to Euphoria, which is going to do a large amount of damage, put her in a nice state called the Lilith state, which allows her to do mental damage instead of psyche damage. and just allows you to do some nice stuff in either Discord or Psyche focused teams in the way of damage, in addition to everything else that she's providing to your team. So if you're looking for a reason to level Fadia, if you have Lacrimosa, she's going to be a fantastic companion in those setups. When you're looking at skills and abilities to level up first, you do have a fair amount of wiggle room, as a lot of the values coming off of the Nova enhancement and the All Eyes on Me passive, but focus on the ultimate and the skill first, do the basic attack and the support skill secondary. And where would we be without Sakiri? Probably the most universally used character in Neverness to Everness. We don't really need to talk about her all that much. Grouping with the skill, absolutely insane. 16-second cooldown, gives you some nice cycle energy, groups things up for you there. The ultimate, suppressing enemies and also giving your team an attack bonus based off of Sakiri's own base attack, which, if you don't know by now, base attack, for the benefits of the attack bonus from the ultimate, is nothing short of just the level that you have Sakiri on in the level of her arc. You don't need to build her for a bunch of different attack. It is based on her base attack. If you played something like Genshin Impact, you might have an idea of what I'm talking about there. In addition to these two very powerful things, you also have the ability for her to benefit DOT damage effects. This is going to be damage over time. If you're a newcomer to these types of games, this works very well with characters like Lacrimosa. This works very well with any other Chaos character that wants to put that reaction on enemies as well. In the Scorched State, you're going to be doing bonus damage for every dot effect on the enemy. And she also does have a defense, ignore, pen, shred on her support skill as well for enemies that are knocked airborne or suppressed from either her skill or her ultimate. Sakiri is going to be one of those characters that I just don't think we can get away from. Currently, for the time being in NTE, she is going to be around for a long time. And because all of her buffs are based off of her base attack, she is going to be one of those characters that you do get a significant amount of power from just for leveling to level 70, level 80 for both her as well as her art. When it comes to skill priority, if you're looking for just the crowd control and you're looking for the damage bonuses, you actually don't need to level much of her skills up at all, but she can do a little bit of damage for you if you decide to invest in her in that way. And speaking of universal characters, well, the main character is someone that we just can't get away from in these Blossom focused reaction teams. A lot of it is because of the ability of Empraise and Engrave, which is going to fully fill our cycle energy, which allows us to swap into an anima character of our choice to instantly proc Bloom every 16 seconds. You pair this up with the likes of characters like Hattori to copy it, like Nanli or Jin Wang to buff the blossoms that we're spawning, and the main character becomes an almost irreplaceable person in these fantastic Blossom focused damage teams. On top of that though as well, the ultimate does do a pretty significant amount of damage, especially for how easy it is to gear the main character up due to some of the free awakening skills that we gain access to, which bump up the damage of Divide by 0, as well as the increased free crit chance for Divide by 0 as well. While they might look a little bit basic, they do offer a lot to these Blossom teams. And in addition to those two very powerful things, you also have a minor amount of healing from their first passive enhancement with Charge Enhancement, if you are running them in a charge team, although a lot of the times nowadays players are foregoing the charge teams just for straight damage in these Blossom focused teams. When you're looking at what skills you should prioritize, ultimate first, then go ahead and get some bonus damage out of the skill if you'd so desire. You are going to be using their support skill a lot due to how the Appraise and Engrave skill itself works. And then lastly, base attack is something that you could invest in, but honestly, you don't leave them on the field long enough for them to really utilize this basic attack enhancement. Haniel, we cannot finish making this video without talking about Haniel, the 4-star support attack buffer extraordinaire of the Psyche element. Haniel is definitely someone you're going to get a ton of value, similar to Sakiri, in leveling up on your account. The mainstay for Haniel is going to be her skill, Silent Moonlit Forest Guardians. This is going to summon a Hootie, which is going to give you two different things. Now, it's going to give you an attack bonus to your party based off of Haniel's base attack, just like Sakiri. But in addition to that, Every time your active character is doing damage, you're going to gain some stacks, and Hootie itself will do damage as well. If you use the ultimate ability, it's going to do two different things. It's going to trigger Ensemble, which is that nice bonus attack we talked about that's going to be doing a psychic damage. But in addition to that, it is also going to pause Hootie's duration until the end of the ultimate effect as well, giving you even more time out of the skill in that attack buff for your party. She also does get even better in teams that can do the Nova reaction because of her Nova enhancement, which allows your allies to drain attack off of that target as well. So not only are you going to be getting the attack buff from the skill, but in teams where you can do Nova, you're going to be gaining an attack buff off of her first enhancement, Nova enhancement, as well. So Haniel is going to be a fantastic character to do two things. Number one, slightly increase the survivability of your party by draining the attack off of the enemies. But first and foremost, there as an attack buffer, as a character who's going to sit off the field for you, and as someone that you're going to gain massive value from, leveling to 70, leveling to 80 when you're looking to find a support to level up first. Now we're talking about the skill priority for Haniel. Unlike someone like Sakiri, if you go ahead and look at their skill here, you will notice that the attack damage bonus ratio actually goes up every time that you level the skill for Haniel. So the first thing you should be leveling is the skill on this character 100% of the time. If you want to, the following one as well, the ultimate, is going to be a high priority for you as well. You can totally ignore the basic attack and then put a couple of points into her support skill Easter egg time as well if you want. There are a ton of amazing characters in Neverness to Everness, but this list was basically if I asked myself the question, if I had every character available on my account in the game, which 8 would I level to 70 or 80 first? And this is what I came up with. If you guys want to see more stuff, drop a like on the channel, hit subscribe, and I'll talk to you down in the comment section below. God bless out there, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.